You've been going, you've been listening. You just want to hear what you want to hear, man.
No, I was going hoping that I.
You gotta go in for the cut. They do the microsurgery. I mean, you get a good doctor.
I had to have a neurosurgeon.
I
would have to have
a neurosurgeon. Sure, yeah. Anybody anything going on your back, you know? And you can't. I mean, you're in tons of pain. Give me some of those meds you got.
But I used it last night.
That's too much.
I'll give you the. And just give you two.
You're not smoking weed now, or either. Oh yeah.
It could be other stuff,
But it won't work. Those two.
Jameson or Jack?
Jameson, not together.
Man, you know, because I know you've been in pain for years. I've seen you up, for years, and you're still up. You're still.
20 years. They're all going to stay. My gosh,
Did you try anything like what do you call it? Acupuncture? You know,
that's all.
Just a little bit of my pain. Some of the pain that other people have endured, and it's like this.
Get on one of the phones. I know you lost. I know you lost. Oh, are you supposed to be at it? I didn't know where to go. I didn't want to stand over you. Okay, there you go. Want me to stand? No, I just figured I'd go over.
Sorry. No, you're okay. Yeah, I thought so too.
His face is on the back of the head. You just told us all about your confession the other day.
talked to me, he said, don't worry about it, Roger. Thank you.
On the guard. Attention. Present. Up. Order!
I would like to call up to the podium Police Commissioner Joe Florio. I'll read the names of the NYPD and Port Authority police officers that died on September 11th.
From the New York City Police Department, Sergeant Timothy A. Roy, Sr., Sergeant John Gerald Coughlin, Sergeant Rodney C. Gillis, Sergeant Michael S. Walter E. Weaver, Ronald Philip Clofer, Thomas M. Langone, James Patrick Leahy, Brian Grady McDonald, John William Perry, Glenn Curran Pettit, John DeLaura, Vincent Dans, Jerome M. Dominguez, Stephen P. Driscoll, Mark Joseph Ellis, and Robert Fazio Jr. From the Port Authority, Superintendent Fernando V. Marone, Chief James A. Ramito, Lieutenant Robert D. Siri, Inspector Anthony P. Infante, Captain Kathy Nancy Mazza, Sergeant Robert M. Coffers, Donald James McIntyre, Walter Arthur McNeil, Joseph Michael Navas, James Nelson, Alphonse J. Niedermeyer, James Wendell Parham, Dominic A. Pizzullo, Antonio J. Rodriguez, Richard Rodriguez, Bruce Alpert Reynolds, Christopher C. Amoroso, Maurice V. Barry, Clinton Davis Sr., Donald A. Foreman, Greg J. Froner, Uru Ganga Houston, George G. Howard, Thomas E. Gorman, Stephen Hozuko, Paul William Jurgens, Liam Callahan, Paul Lazinski, David Producio Lemagan, John Joseph Lennon Jr., John Dennis Levy, James Francis Lynch, John P. Scala, Roland W. Stewart Jr., Kenneth F. Tejan, Nathaniel Webb, and Michael T. Hawley. And one police dog, Cyrus, was also lost in the attacks.
Thanks, Commissioner. We'll now just stand at the ready until 9:03 at the time the South Tower was struck, which will then begin reading the names of the 343 New York City firefighters that perished. Firefighter Joseph Agnello, Lieutenant Brian Ahern, Firefighter Eric Allen, Firefighter Richard Allen, Captain James Amato, Firefighter Calixto Anaya, Firefighter Joseph Angelini, Firefighter Joseph Angelini Jr., Firefighter Faustino Apostol, Firefighter David Arce, Firefighter Louis Arena, Firefighter Carl Azaro, Firefighter Gerald Atwood, Firefighter Gerald Baptiste, Captain Gerald Barbera, Firefighter Matthew Barnes, Firefighter Arthur Barry, Lieutenant Stephen Bates, Firefighter Carl Bedigan, Firefighter Stephen Belson, Firefighter John Bergen, Firefighter Paul Byer, Firefighter Peter Bayfield, Firefighter Brian Bilcher, Firefighter Carl Meany, Firefighter Christopher Blackwell, Firefighter Michael Bocchino, Firefighter Frank Bonamo, Firefighter Gary Box, Firefighter Michael Boyle, Firefighter Kevin Bracken, Firefighter Michael Brennan, Firefighter Peter Brennan, Captain Daniel Brethel, Captain Patrick Brown, Firefighter Andrew Brunn, Captain Vincent Brunton, Firefighter Ronald Buca, Firefighter Greg Buck, Captain William Burke Jr., Captain Donald Burns, Firefighter John Burnside, Firefighter Thomas Butler, Firefighter Patrick Byrne, Firefighter George Kane, Firefighter Salvatore Calabro, Captain Frank Callahan, Firefighter Michael Camerata, Firefighter Brian Cananzaro, Firefighter Dennis Carey, Firefighter Michael Carlo, Firefighter Michael Carroll, Firefighter Peter Carroll, Firefighter Thomas Casaria, Firefighter Michael Cawley, Firefighter Vernon Cherry, Firefighter Nicholas Chiafalo, Firefighter John Chipora, Firefighter Michael Clark, Firefighter Stephen Coakley, Firefighter Terrell Coleman, Firefighter John Collins, Firefighter Robert Cordis, Firefighter Ruben Correa, Firefighter James Coyle, Firefighter Robert Crawford, Lieutenant John Kriske, Battalion Chief Dennis Cross, Firefighter Thomas Cullen III, Firefighter Robert Cotorlo, Lieutenant Edward Diatri, Firefighter Michael Dioria, Firefighter Scott Davidson, Firefighter Edward Day, Battalion Chief Thomas DeAngelis, Firefighter Manuel Deval, Firefighter Martin DeMeo, Firefighter David DiRubio, Lieutenant Andrew Desperito, Battalion Chief Dennis Devlin, Firefighter Gerald Dewan, Firefighter George DiPasquale, Lieutenant Kevin Donnelly, Lieutenant Kevin Dowdell, Battalion Chief Ray Downey, Firefighter Gerald Duffy, Captain Martin Egan Jr., Firefighter Michael Alferis, Firefighter Francis Esposito, Lieutenant Michael Esposito, Firefighter Robert Evans, Battalion Chief John Fanning, Captain Thomas Farino, Captain Terrence Farrell, Captain Joseph Farelli, Commander William Feehan, Firefighter Lee Feeling, Firefighter Alan Feinberg, Firefighter Michael Fiore, Lieutenant John Fisher, Firefighter Andre Fletcher, Firefighter John Florio, Lieutenant Michael Fodor, Firefighter Thomas Foley, Firefighter Thomas Fantana, Firefighter Robert Fody, Firefighter Andrew Fredericks, Lieutenant Peter Frund, Firefighter Thomas Gambino Jr., Chief of Department Peter Ganchi Jr., Lieutenant Charles Garbarini, Firefighter Thomas Gardner, Firefighter Matthew Garvey, Firefighter Bruce Gary, Firefighter Gary Geidel, Battalion Chief Edward Garotti, Firefighter Dennis Germain, Lieutenant Vincent Giamona, Firefighter James Giberson, Firefighter Ronnie Geese, Firefighter Paul Gill, Lieutenant John Ginley, Firefighter Jeffrey Giordano, Firefighter John Giordano, Firefighter Keith Glasgow, Firefighter James Gary. Battalion Chief Joseph Galetzak. Firefighter Joseph Guadalupe. Lieutenant Jeffrey Gita. Lieutenant Joseph Gillickson. Firefighter David Halderman. Lieutenant Vincent Halloran. Firefighter Robert Hamilton. Firefighter Sean Hanley. Firefighter Thomas Hannafin. Firefighter Dana Hanone. Firefighter Daniel Harlan. Lieutenant Harvey Harrell. Lieutenant Stephen Harrell. Captain Thomas Haskell Jr. Firefighter Timothy Haskell. Captain Terrence Hatton. Firefighter Michael Haub. Lieutenant Michael Healy. Firefighter John Hefferman. Firefighter Ronnie Henderson. Firefighter Joseph Henry.
Firefighter William Henry. Firefighter Thomas Hetzel. Captain Brian Hickey. Firefighter Jonathan Homan. Firefighter Thomas Hunter. Captain Walter Hines. Firefighter Jonathan Leppy. Captain Frederick Jr. Firefighter William Johnston. Firefighter Andrew Jordan. Firefighter Carl Joseph. Lieutenant Anthony Jovic. Firefighter Anthony Angel Jurabe. Father Michael Judge. Firefighter Vincent Kane. Battalion Chief Charles Casper. Firefighter Paul Keating. Firefighter Richard Kelly Jr. Firefighter Thomas R. Kelly. Firefighter Thomas W. Kelly. Lieutenant Ronald Kerwin. Firefighter Michael Kiefer. Firefighter Robert King Jr. Firefighter Scott Copito. Firefighter William Krukowski. Firefighter Kenneth Cumble. Firefighter Thomas Kufekis. Firefighter David LaForge. Firefighter William Lake. Firefighter Robert Lane. Firefighter Peter Langone. Firefighter Scott Larson. Lieutenant Joseph Levy. Firefighter Neil Levy. Firefighter Daniel Libretti. Paramedic Carlos Lillo. Firefighter Robert Lynn. Firefighter Michael Lynch. Firefighter Michael Lyons. Firefighter Patrick Lyons. Firefighter Joseph Maffio. Firefighter William Mahoney. Battalion Chief Joseph Marchbanks Jr. Lieutenant Charles Margiotta. Firefighter Kenneth Marino. Firefighter John Marshall. Lieutenant Peter Martin. Lieutenant Paul Martini. Firefighter Joseph Mascali. Firefighter Keith Roy Menard. Firefighter Brian McLeese. Firefighter John McCavey. Thomas McGinn. Lieutenant William McGinn. Battalion Chief William McGinn. Firefighter Dennis McHugh. Firefighter Robert McMahon. Firefighter Robert McPadden. Firefighter Terrence McShane. Firefighter Timothy McSweeney. Firefighter Martin McWilliams. Firefighter Raymond Meinheimer. Firefighter Charles Menendez. Firefighter Steve Mercado. Firefighter Douglas Miller. Firefighter Henry Miller Jr. Firefighter Robert Manara. Firefighter Thomas Manjone. Lieutenant Paul Mitchell. Captain Louis Marafi. Lieutenant Dennis Mojica. Firefighter Manuel Mojica. Firefighter Carl Molinaro. Firefighter Michael Montesi. Captain Thomas Moody. Battalion Chief John Moran. Firefighter Vincent Morello. Firefighter Christopher Mazzillo. Firefighter Richard Muldowney Jr. Firefighter Michael Mullen. Firefighter Dennis Mulligan. Lieutenant Raymond Murphy. Lieutenant Robert Nagel. Firefighter John Napolitano. Firefighter Peter Nelson. Firefighter Gerard Nevins. Firefighter Dennis Oberg. Lieutenant Daniel O'Callahan. Firefighter Dennis Oloshager. Firefighter Joseph O'Green. Lieutenant Thomas O'Hagan. Firefighter Samuel Otis. Firefighter Patrick O'Keefe. Captain William O'Keefe. Firefighter Eric Olson. Firefighter Jeffrey Olson. Firefighter Stephen Olson. Firefighter Kevin O'Rourke. Firefighter Michael Otten. Firefighter Jeffrey Palazzo. Battalion Chief Oreo Palmer. Firefighter Frank Palumbo. Firefighter Paul Pansini. Battalion Chief John Palaio, Firefighter James Pappengeorge, Firefighter Robert Parrow, Firefighter Darrell Purcell, Lieutenant Glenn Perry, Lieutenant Philip Petty, Lieutenant Kevin Pfeiffer, Lieutenant Kenneth Filane, Firefighter Christopher Pickford, Firefighter Sean Powell, Firefighter Vincent Princigata, Firefighter Kevin Pryor, Battalion Chief Richard Prunty, Firefighter Lincoln Quap, Lieutenant Michael Quilty, Paramedic Ricardo Quinn, Firefighter Leonard Regaglia, Firefighter Michael Ragusa, Firefighter Edward Rall, Firefighter Adam Rand, Firefighter Donald Regan, Lieutenant Robert Regan, Firefighter Christian Regenhard, Firefighter Kevin Riley, Lieutenant Vernon Richard, Firefighter James Riches, Firefighter Joseph Ravelli, Firefighter Michael Roberts, Firefighter Michael E. Roberts, Firefighter Anthony Rodriguez, Firefighter Matthew Rogan, Firefighter Nicholas Rosamondo, Firefighter Paul Rubach, Firefighter Stephen Russell, Lieutenant Michael Russell, Battalion Chief Matthew Ryan, Firefighter Thomas Sabella, Firefighter Christopher Santora, Firefighter John Santor, Firefighter Gregory Saucedo, Firefighter Dennis Scout, Firefighter John Shout, Battalion Chief Fred Sheffield, Firefighter Thomas Chalais, Firefighter Gerard Schrang, Firefighter Gregory Sikorsky, Firefighter Stephen Siller, Firefighter Stanley Samaglia, Firefighter Kevin Smith, Firefighter Leon Smith, Firefighter Robert Spear, Firefighter Joseph Spoor, Battalion Chief Lawrence Stack, Captain Timothy Stackpole, Firefighter Gregory Stark, Firefighter Jeffrey Stark, Firefighter Benjamin Suarez, Firefighter Daniel Sewer, Lieutenant Christopher Sullivan, Firefighter Brian Sweeney, Firefighter Sean Talon, Firefighter Alan Tassarowitz, Firefighter Paul Tetmeyer, Firefighter John Tierney, Firefighter John Tipping, Firefighter Hector Torrado, Firefighter Richard Van Hine, Firefighter Peter Vega, Firefighter Lawrence Veiling, Firefighter John Vigano, Firefighter Sergio Villanueva, Firefighter Lawrence Virgilio, Firefighter Robert Wallace, Firefighter Jeffrey Waltz, Lieutenant Michael Warcola, Captain Patrick Waters, Firefighter Kenneth Watson, Firefighter Michael Weinberg, Firefighter David Weiss.
Firefighter Timothy Welty, Firefighter Eugene Whelan, Firefighter Edward White, Firefighter Mark Whitford, Lieutenant Glenn Wilkinson, Battalion Chief John Williamson, Captain David Woolley, and Firefighter Raymond York. So 20 years later, and that never gets any easier reading all those names. I want to thank everybody this morning for coming. For those of you who don't know me, Chief Mike Scanner, the Union Fire Department. I'd like to acknowledge a few of our dignitaries here. Mayor Michelle Dellisford, thank you very much. Deputy Mayor Joe Florio, Committeeman Manny Figueredo, and my Commissioner, Cliff Peoples, thank you very much. So normally this is when I say a few words, and I thought I'd do something a little different this year, being the 20-year anniversary. I mean, what hasn't been said over 20 years, so just bear with me. I want to read you something. The Township of Union Fire Department responded to assist the City of New York as a result of the World Trade Center disaster on September 11, 2001. Union Fire apparatus and personnel responded to New York City by the orders of the Union County Office of Emergency Management and Fire Mutual Aid almost immediately after the second tower became involved. Fire apparatus consisting of 3 engine companies, 1 ladder company, and 2 battalion chiefs. Our men and equipment were stationed in New Dorp section of Staten Island and the Bay Ridge Sunset Parks of Brooklyn. Union was among 28 engines, 8 ladders, and 2 rescue units sent to New York City from Union County. Off-duty personnel were immediately recalled to duty, and all fire personnel were required to be immediately available to return to duty until further notice. All recall and reserve fire apparatus and ambulances were put in service. 3 Union Fire Department chief officers, including the chief of the department, operated in support of the Elizabeth Fire Department's technical rescue team at Ground Zero site of World Trade Center. Over 88 Union firefighters were stationed in the city of New York during the period of Tuesday morning through Thursday night. Additionally, 2 Union Fire Department ambulances with firefighter EMTs responded to the Holland Tunnel and were staged with New Jersey ambulances. They were then relocated to Hoboken near the ferry slip and operated in the location for nearly 24 hours. They were assigned to remove and triage injured persons that had been brought to New Jersey by boat. They removed these injured persons to the triage area for awaiting ambulances. Presently, all members and equipment have returned to Union and remain in service. That was a directive memo that was sent by then Chief of Department, Chief Fred Fretz, to the then Mayor of Union, Pete Capadese. It's amazing what you can find digging around in some old files in your office. This may have been a little bit prior to when we started with computers, but I thought it was important 20 years later to just recognize what our department did and what they continue to do this day. They're always at the ready. I'm proud of them. All the men and women standing here before me, all the men and women that have retired, and obviously all the men and women that have passed on. At this time, anybody that's with us, whether you're working or you're retired, if you were at or were dispatched or responded over to New York City, could you just step forward just to be quickly recognized? I know that's not why we do this, but I thought it was important. So we have Lieutenant Helmut Kraut, we have retired Captain Rod Delasala, retired Chief of the Department Fred Fretz, retired Captain Steve Spur, Lieutenant Gary? No. I know who you are. I know. Firefighter Gary Marshall, retired Captain Gary Stites, firefighter Tom Cooney, a couple guys, hold your hands up, right? Mike Calvis, Joe Frayne, Scott Binder, Jerry DePisa, Tim Kelly. Some of you guys might not have even been born, or you were still in diapers when this happened. So I know I went over, and the deputy as well. So thanks, guys. I appreciate it. I just felt it was important just to at least honor or at least acknowledge those guys. At this time, I would like to call up our chaplain, Father Chuck McDermott, to say a few words.
According to canon law in the Catholic Church, I'm technically not a pastor, I'm a pastor emeritus. So even though I still count myself as part of St. Michael's, as the part of the staff there, I have no canonical responsibility, except because right after I retired, the first phone call I made was to Tommy Burns, and I said, Tommy, can I stay on as the chaplain? He says, oh, I was just going to call you and ask you if you would stay on. And it has always been one of the great joys of my life that you are my parishioners today. I just wanted to tell you a little story, what it was like that day. It was a beautiful, beautiful September day like today. A little bit warmer, but it was because I was thinking of going down the shore the next day. It was a Tuesday, and my day off was Wednesday. My pal Father John Tarantino and our other pal Father Jimmy Conover always meet and go down the shore, usually to Sandy Hook on the beach. And so I was looking forward to that, and had just finished saying the 8:30 Mass, and I was in having breakfast in the rectory, in the dining room, and sitting there at the head of the table, and you can see the staircase going upstairs, and I was working on the New York Times crossword puzzle, as I did every day, and then all of a sudden I see Father Chris Ciccarino running down the stairs. And I said, what's the matter? He says, quick, put the television on. We had TV on. If you were by yourself in the dining room for a meal, you could watch the news or something. Put the TV on. A plane has gone into the World Trade Center. So I'm thinking, like the plane that went into the Empire State Building in the 1930s, probably some guy had a heart attack and flew in. Well, okay, I thought, gee, that's an awfully big hole for that. And I'm watching, and I'm seeing this plane in the back, And you know how when you have the distance lenses on your cameras and all, sometimes what is far away looks like right in front of you? And I thought it was that. And I'm saying, gee, that plane obviously was taken off from Newark Airport, and that's awfully close. And I said it to Chris, and with that, the plane went into the building, and I remember turning to Chris and saying, Chris, these aren't accidents. Something's really bad happening. It was terrifying, absolutely terrifying. And thinking of all those people who were in the buildings, a lot of my parishioners were there. I remember two of the young boys were in St. Peter's Prep in Jersey City, and their mom and dad, you know where, I don't know if you know where the Prep is, it's right down near the port, and they were probably watching that building and thinking, Mommy and Daddy are in there, as those buildings came down. And then they had the pictures of Father Michael Judge. Father Michael Judge was the first person who was registered as killed in the World Trade Center. What most people don't realize, it was because they didn't publicize it. He was hit by one of the bodies of one of the people who had jumped from the top. And they had the pictures in the paper the next day of his firemen, because he was probably the perfect fire chaplain, absolutely wonderful man. And they carried him out, and the picture was so touching to see this man, and he looked like he was asleep as they were carrying him. What most people didn't know was that what they did was they carried his body to St. Peter's Church on Barclay Street, about a block down, and they put the body on the altar. Now, I always picture paradise and a line of firemen and policemen walking up to the throne of God, because I think that's the way it was. So, before that, I think, before 9/11, I think there was a lot of stuff. People, I think, appreciated the firemen and the policemen. Most of the firemen and policemen here in Union actually lived in Union at the time. But it was kind of, well, that's the way, oh yeah, the policemen, oh yeah, the firemen are there. And what do they do all day? You know? And they don't realize, you know, like, the only reason I'm here today is because of 3 of the firemen who came to the rectory when I knew I was in trouble and I was having a massive heart attack. And they literally saved my life. That wasn't a fire. That was something else. Because you guys do much, much more than just the fire stuff. So after that 9/11, though, everything changed around. Everything changed. Kind of like with the pandemic, with everything's changed. And that's something that you guys can experience more. I don't know if you wouldn't get the horror of 9/11. You might have realized that Mommy and Daddy were upset about something that was on the television, and maybe they wouldn't let you watch the TV that day. Well, they said, go out into the fresh air, so that you wouldn't see what was on the TV. But after that, people really, really learned how important and how necessary our police and our fire are to us. And I think here in Union, the reason why Union is almost like a fairyland. It's a nice place. Everybody's happy. Seems to be happy. But it's because we're safe. And we know that we're safe because your arms are taking care of us. So we do love you more than you can ever probably realize. And as I've told you so many times, I don't think that you have a job. I think you have a vocation, and there's a difference, a very important difference. Like I'm a priest until all eternity. Once you're a fireman, once you are a policeman, you are, I think, intrinsically changed and made a bit stronger. And you know that I pray for you all the time. I literally do all the time. Every time I hear, where I live on K Avenue, it's in my family home. I'm lucky because I hear every fire engine going up or down Vauxhall Road like I did when I was in the rectory at St. Michael's. And every time I hear it, I stop, just stop whatever I'm doing and pray for you guys. But please, pray for yourselves. Let God know that you're sometimes frightened to death. Let Him to know that you're grateful that you've survived. Talk to Him. Raise your heart and your mind to God yourselves as well. Pray for yourselves. And, you know, I would encourage the prayer of serenity. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. If a house is burning down, you can't change that. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. The courage to do what I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And that's what my prayer at nighttime, my last prayer for you at nighttime is, I always pray, dear God, give them the wisdom they need to do what they could do, save people and save themselves. And I've gone on too long. God bless every single one of you.
Thanks, Father Chuck. I think all the members of your fire department would agree with me that you're a perfect fit for us, so thank you very much. In closing, again, I just want to thank everyone, the citizens that attended. I appreciate your support, the mayor and council, obviously, my administrators, Administrator Don Travisano, Assistant Administrator Bill Reyes. Thank you guys very much. Union EMS, obviously we share a common goal here. Union Police Department, our brothers in blue, thank you very much. And obviously the men and women of the Union Fire Department, thank you guys every day for doing what you do. Today is also a day we like to recognize our two line of duty deaths, Captain Dominic Ritordo and Deputy Chief Les Hendricks, who both perished in the line of duty in the Township Union Fire Department. So again, thank you guys very much. Before we go, I just want to remind everybody that behind me is our 9/11 memorial. We're very fortunate to have a piece of the Pentagon and a piece of the World Trade Center. So please, by all means, stop by, reflect. We call it Monument Park here at the Union Fire Department. So take your time and duty calls. Okay, so again, thank you. I also have some light refreshments. You're more than welcome to stay and chat with your firefighters, have a cup of coffee, and something to eat. So thank you guys very much. And again, I appreciate you all stopping by. Thanks.
On the guard. Dismiss.